Okay, so I'm going to describe two different ways that you may have to solve division. So the first way is the easy way, because when you look at this one, you're basically asking yourself, how many times does 3 go into 4? Because 3 can go into 4. If this number is bigger, then you know that 3 can fit into it. So you're going to say, well, 3 goes into 4 once. 3 times 1 is 3. And then you can subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. And now you're going to ask yourself, well, how many times does 3 go into 1? Well, it can't go into 1 because 1 is smaller than 3. So you're going to pull down the 2. And now you start again. You repeat. So you say, well, how many times does 3 fit into 12? Well, I can't go over. I have to stay under. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. So you're going to write the 12 here. 3 times 4 is 12. And then you repeat. You're going to subtract. And 12 minus 12 is 0. So now you say, how many times does 3 go into 0? Well, it doesn't fit into 0. So I have to pull down my 8. And we repeat, how many times does 3 fit into 8? What's the closest I can get? Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. That's gone over. So it's going to have to be 3 times 2 is 6. And repeat. Subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. How many times does 3 fit into 2? Well, it can't fit into 2. So I'm going to pull my 7 all the way down. 3. That's going to be 27. How many times does 3 fit into 27? Well, 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. So I just keep going. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24. Oh, boom. 3 times 9 is 27. So I subtract again. And that means my remainder is 0. So 4,287 divided by 3 is 1,429. Okay, let's look at this one. So this is another way that this could pan out. So we always ask ourselves first, how many times does 3 go into 2? Well, it doesn't fit into 2 because 2 is too small. It's smaller than 3. With this one, it did work because you can fit 3 into 4. So instead of asking how many times does 3 go into 2, we're going to do, well, how many times does 3 go into 27? Well, I know that 3 times 8 is 24. Oh, 3 times 9 is 27. And I'm going to write my 9 here because I've skipped the 2. For this one, I had to put the 1 here because I did 3 into 4. But this one, I'm skipping the 2 and I'm doing 3 into 27. So I'm going to put the 9 up here. And I subtract. And then I say, well, how many times does 3 go into 0? Well, too small, so I pull down my 4. And I start again. How many times does 3 go into 4? Well, that's an easy one. 3 times 1 is 3. So again, I'm subtracting. I keep subtracting as I go down. 4 minus 3 is 1. How many times does 3 go into 1? Well, it doesn't fit, of course. So I bring down the 4. How many times does 3 go into 14? Well, 3 times 5 is 15, so I've gone over. So it's going to have to be 3 times 4 is 12. And then I subtract. I've got nothing else to bring down now, so that means I'm done. And this number 2 is smaller than 3, so that's got to be my remainder. So my answer is 914, remainder 2. And it's really important to keep your numbers lined up. If you keep your numbers lined up, you'll be okay. It's when you don't line them up that it gets tricky when you start to subtract. You don't know where the numbers are. Okay, now it's your turn.